Hi, Dylan Plotkin here again. Welcome to another video. My top 10 here is my top 10 sports moments of all time. In 2016, the Patriots were losing to the Falcons 28-3 in the Super Bowl at halftime. And during halftime, just magic hit after. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady showed why they are very dominant and continued their dominance against the Falcons in the second half, winning the game 34-28 in overtime. The greatest comeback, one of the greatest comebacks in sports history, in my personal opinion, the greatest comeback in NFL history. For those reasons there, that is my 10th best sport moment ever. The fight of the century. In 1971, Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali matched up for the very first time. It was one of the most hyped up fights in boxing history. It was held in New York City and was just an unbelievable event that everybody had to go to. Joe Frazier upset Muhammad Ali in 15 rounds in a bloodbath of a fight. It was a unanimous decision and he upsetted him. He won. He did it. And it was one of the best moments in boxing history. For those reasons, the fight of the century is my ninth best sports moment ever. In 2016, LeBron returned to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Actually, he returned in 2015. I'm mistaken about that. He lost in the finals in 2015 against the Golden State Warriors. But in 2016, he was determined to get a championship for Cleveland. The Warriors that year had the best record in NBA history. They defeated the 1997 Chicago Bulls record 72-10. They went 73-9. It's unbelievable. When the Cleveland Cavaliers matched up with the Warriors in the finals again, they were big underdogs. They were down in the series 3-1, and LeBron put the team on his shoulders and carried them to victory, and he delivered the first championship in Cleveland sports in a very, very, very long time, over 50 years. An unbelievable moment for the city of Cleveland, and for those reasons there, that moment is my number 8 best sport moment in history. In 1936, the Olympics were held in Berlin, Germany, during the Nazi period. Jesse Owens, an African-American triathlete runner and track runner, competed and won 4 gold medals in one of the most intimidating and scary places in the world of that time. He's a true hero for doing that, and he represented the USA with pride and dignity. For those reasons there, he is my number 7, and that moment for him winning 4 gold medals, is my number 7 for the best sport moment ever. In 1986, England and Argentina were playing in a semi-final game to advance to the final for the World Cup final. Diego Maradona is one of the best players the game has ever seen. He scored 2 goals that game, and one goal was very legit. It was a great goal, nothing the team could do. The other goal, on the other hand, was called the hand of God. A player passed it up and he punched the ball into the net. Most of the fans saw this, but the refs did not see this, and they still counted the goal, which made England lose the soccer match and put Argentina into the final, and they eventually won the 1986 World Cup. It's a big controversial moment, and that is the reason why that is my number 6 top sport moment ever. In 2008, the Olympics were held in Beijing, China. Michael Phelps, a very talented young swimmer at the time, wanted to break a record. He wanted to break Mark Spitz's record of 7 gold medals. He not only broke that record, he got 8 gold medals. He got 1 more. He was unbelievable. He's one of the greatest athletes ever, honestly. One of the best Olympians we've ever seen, and was a true joy to watch. It was very impressive to watch him win every single event also that he swam in. So those reasons there are why that's my number 5 sports moment ever. 1947, April 15th, the game of baseball changed forever. A young African male named Jackie Robinson played for the Brooklyn Dodgers the very first time. He's a baseball legend, and he broke the color barrier and is the reason why multiple races play the game today. There's a high Hispanic rate in baseball, a high African American rate in baseball, and a high white rate in baseball. It's way more even now, and there's no more racism in it, and he's the reason why there is no more racism in baseball. He really broke the color barrier, and for him playing took a lot of courage because he got crap from the fans and other players. Pitchers on the opposing side threw the ball at his head. I mean, they try to beat him up out there, and he took it like a man, and is an absolute legend of a human and a baseball player. Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals. Michael Jordan and the Bulls were ready to capture their 6th and final championship of their dynasty. They were down by 1, and then there were 16 seconds left on the clock. Michael Jordan dribbles up baseline and hits a jumper from the free throw line known as the last shot. It's the last shot he ever took as a Chicago Bull. Of course he made the shot because he's Michael Jordan and the most clutch player we have ever seen. And they won the finals. They won their 6th championship, and he's just amazing. The best. He was just amazing. I have no other words to describe it. It's probably the most famous shot in basketball history. And for those reasons there, that's my 3rd best sports moment ever. In 1932, the Chicago Cubs and the New York Yankees were playing in the World Series. Babe Ruth, the most famous baseball player who ever lived, came up to bat and pointed the bat to center field. He called his own shot. The pitchers and the other players and the fans thought this was ridiculous. And then the very next pitch, he hits it to where he pointed it. It was at center field. He pointed his bat at center field. He hit a home run dead center. It was an unbelievable moment, and it was just one of the most famous moments in sports history. And that's why it's my number 2. Greatest sport moment ever. In the 1980 Winter Olympics, Russia and the underdog, USA, filled with a bunch of nobodies, came and they played against each other. Russia was dominant. The country Russia breathed and loved hockey. That was their game. And America had multiple sports, and they were massive. I mean, non-expected to win. It was just impossible. They thought it was impossible for them to win. USA grinded their way to beat Russia, and one of the most famous calls ever is, "Do you believe in miracles?" And they say yes, and it's just a very sad but beautiful, happy, emotional moment. Not only for USA, for those players. I mean, they were unexpected to not win that game, and for them to do that is just an absolute miracle, and they're just amazing for doing that. And yeah, they ended up winning. That was only the semifinal, by the way. They ended up winning in the 1980 final, so they did win the gold medal. But they are known for beating Russia, and movies have been made about it, and documentaries, and just by far the best sport moment we have ever seen. That's my list. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you when I see you.